Good evening. Hope you're all okay. Right, so it's the first time that I've really spoke to you in it since the event. So I hope if you came, you enjoyed it. I think it's by far the most impactful event we've had in terms of feedback and things that have happened since. I'm going to try and keep it quite focused tonight on the things that are. Remember, the event and everything that we're doing at the moment is all around getting ready for 2026. So we've got the content I'm going to do tonight, obviously the clinics, the Sunday night 8 o'clock interviews that we're doing at the moment. So let us know what you think of them. Are you enjoying them? What you're taking from them? If you put your comments in, let us know what you're thinking. I'll read them later. I do read all the comments, so I'm going to stay focused on this, and I'll read your comments later. If you are an Academy member, remember, just use your WhatsApp group. If you've got any questions throughout this and anything is, because what I'm going to try and do is, instead of like going in the chat every 5 minutes, and I'm happy for you, obviously want to use the chat still, but I want you to use your WhatsApp groups as well. So if you've got any specific questions, things that I talk about on these streams, use your own Academy WhatsApp group. If you're not an Academy member, I'll put a link below this video so you can start a WhatsApp chat with us if you want to talk about anything that we talk about tonight. Because these streams we've been doing in the Facebook group, and now we're doing them on YouTube, obviously, but we still put them in the Facebook group. We've been doing them for 2 or 3 years, well, 3 years now. So, and this is your opportunity to hang out with us every other Wednesday. Well, it's every Wednesday if you count the clinics, and get to know, obviously, the community that you're part of, and get some motivation to do better in this industry, earn more money. And, you know, we're here to better you. We're here to better you all, trade partners, Academy members. Obviously, the biggest prize is in the Academy by far, but, you know, everyone's here doing their own thing. That's fine. But we're here to support everybody. So, but tonight I want to talk about the products. I'm not going to go into products too much tonight, because I know we've got a few new product ranges bubbling away that we've been talking about. We hoped that they would be available by now. Unfortunately, a few delays as always with shit like that. So that shouldn't be too much longer. Media walls, we've got some special announcements coming up on that, and product offerings that are new and upcoming. So I'm not going to go into that tonight because it's a bit half baked, and I don't want to waste time on it really, because I want to stay focused on the event. We don't need to worry about product too much right now. Let's focus on our businesses. Let's focus on ourselves. Let's focus on what we're here to do, and that's grow our businesses and make more money and have a better life. So when was it? Friday before last we had the event, didn't we? So yeah, there was a lot of people in the room, and let us know what you thought of the day as well if you were there. What did you think of how the event was laid out? Like, did you like the fact that we didn't go around the room and everyone sent in because we didn't go around the room. Normally we go around the room and ask everyone, but obviously so many people, we go around the room and ask everyone what their question or challenge is, but obviously with so many people in the room, and I wanted to keep the content focused, we sent a link out in the WhatsApp group and everyone submitted their questions. I feel like it worked quite well. I feel like we got through more. You know, it gave me time to dwell on the things that I wanted to pause and, you know, take a thought on and get you to think deeper about. Whereas when we're rushing around the room, sometimes I felt at the last couple of events that we were trying to get through people too quickly. And I feel like this allowed us that extra time to spend more time on things. That's how I read it. So please let me know what you thought. And you know, what's happened in your life since the event. You know, what have you done since then? What's been the positive impact for you? I know there was a lot of people at the event. Some of them that were KBB beginners have upgraded to silver. So, you know, a lot of people added on new services. I know we said it'd be a maximum number for the event, but we've tried to help as many people as we can. The new web pages that you're all asking for, because there's a lot of people that ask for new web pages, way more than what we were sort of expecting, to be honest. So what's going to happen with that is the pages are going to start going live by the end of next week, and it will be the first 10 or 15 people that registered first will get them first. We're being done in however quickly you did it on the day is how the order that they're going to get done in. So it will take us a couple of weeks to get through them all, because there's a lot, because it is basically a reprogramming of your website to add these things in. It's quite a piece of kit. So that'll be happening. Yeah. So that's on its way. What I will say about that is that we give you a grace period for paying for these extra services, and we said it would be January, but I'm going to push the payments back so you won't pay for it until February. So it's because it's going to take us a little bit longer to get the pages on than what I thought, because obviously more people wanted it, and we did try to restrict it on the day, but we want to help people in the day, so we have let more people in than what we probably. The reason why I restricted it on the day was because I thought it'll be around that number that sign up, and it'll give us time to get them people on. But because it was quite a few more, it's like, right, shit, there's quite a bit more work for us to do here, and obviously we're doing it for free, so it's like it's just put a bit of strain on us. So we're going to move the payment back an extra month. So you weren't going to get charged until January. That'll now be February. So you will get a clear November, December, January of paying nothing for it. That'll be Academy Plus and for the additional pages as well. So everyone's getting a good deal. The total investment for us there to do all this and to help people out is, it's £15,000 to £20,000 worth of investment for us. To get all this in for you guys, and not that we want a pat on the back for that, but we just want you to know that we were taking this seriously. We're seeing what works in the academy, like we said at the event, and we're putting our money where our mouth is, because obviously offering services free, and it takes a lot of resources for us to deliver these services and switch these things on. All these websites need reprogramming, everyone needs Academy Plus and all this shit, so it does cost us quite a lot of money to do this, but we know the price for doing it down the line is significant for you and us. So, it's good that we're all on the same page with this, because as we've seen at the event, the Academy Plus, and I believe down the line, these new services will be a game changer. Well, Academy Plus already is a game changer. If you're at the event, you know what I'm talking about, 500% increase in practically everything for Academy Plus members. Well, I want to talk to you tonight. I'm going to go through some of the slides from the event, because tonight's a bit of a debrief from the event. So I want to make sure that we spend a bit of time dwelling on the content again, just to make sure it's been solidified in your head. So yeah, I want to spend a bit of time on that. I've told you that your payments won't start until February for those things. Web page is going to start next week. I'm going to go through some of the slides. And I just want to put a bit of a caveat in as well, because it was interesting. I was speaking to the people in our team, let's say, that deliver Academy Plus as the, that do the SEO and do the do the service itself. There was an interesting comment that was made, and it's made me think quite a lot about what to advise you to do moving forward, because you'll remember at the event, if you were there, the grant from Elite Installations, we were looking at how being an Academy Plus has made him, it's enabled him to not pay for any other marketing, basically. All of the leads for his business come through his website, and this is becoming a trend for quite a few Academy members, but some more than others. So I wanted to look at this a bit closer, and I've got some more insight into this, which I wanted to share with you tonight. Now, Grant's business does 40 to 50 jobs a year, which is way more than what most people could ever dream of, especially with where they are now. And that for them feels unfathomable, but it's not. But something I want you to take to the bank tonight and cash in is this. If you're in Academy Plus, so I spoke to the team that deliver Academy Plus, and it was like, what are the people? Because there's quite a lot of people in Academy Plus as well, by the way. There's probably 40% of Academy members, probably more than that now, that are actually in Academy Plus. So, and they're by far the people that are doing the best. Like there's absolutely no doubt with that at all. But some people are still further ahead than others. So I was looking at it thinking, well, what are they doing differently? And the comment came back was, well, they just do more social media. And it was like a throwaway comment. And I thought, what do you mean they do more social media? Because what we do now as part of Academy Plus, which you won't know this, but we grade your social media as an Academy Plus member internally. So we know what you're doing on social media, and we discuss it. Now, the people like Grant and like Enzo and Josh from Brooks, There are others, but they're the ones that spring to mind. They are fairly prolific on social media. Now, so what I want you to take from this is don't join Academy Plus thinking that you don't need to do anything else, because Academy Plus is part of your wider strategy. Yeah, it isn't the silver bullet. Nothing ever is a silver bullet. If you're ever looking for the silver bullet in business, you're not being a business person, because there isn't a silver bullet. And good business people know there isn't a silver bullet. Good business people or sensible people put a varied effort into a lot of different things, and Academy Plus is one of the things that helps. But one of the things that really makes a difference to Academy Plus is this. Grant and the people that joined Academy Plus sometime last year, who are now doing really well, before they joined Academy Plus, they were on the online profiles like Checker Trade, My Builder, all these types of things. And they were doing quite a lot of social media. So although Academy Plus have been really successful for them, the other things that they were doing, Academy Plus on top of those things, because there was already a history with the things they were doing. So when we plugged Academy Plus in, it then just taking it right up to a different level. So if you come into Academy Plus early on in your journey, I want you to be mindful here that you need to be you need to be consistent on social media. You need to be doing it as per what we say in the academy. And I would strongly also recommend that you still register on the online profiles like My Builder Back and all, things like that. Because being on them websites and having profiles on them websites gives your website a lot of credibility. And even though you might not chase leads through those websites, per se, you may or may not get jobs through them. Depends on if you chase them or not. But the point being is that the fact you've got profiles in these places is really important, and this really helps with the Academy Plus effort, because when we start doing the search engine optimization and doing blogs and case studies for you and all that type of stuff, it really makes a big difference if you're already on these online profiles and you're already doing social media. So the next gap, that if you're in Academy Plus, you think, oh yeah, and you're just waiting for the leads to come in. Yes, come on, here we go. Don't think like that. You've got to think, right, that's happening, but what do I need to do? And this is what I'm telling you. You need to make sure that you register on these online profiles, even if you're not chasing leads through them. Get your company registered on there, even if it's Yell and things like that, because all these websites carry a lot of domain authority. You don't need to know these terms, but they have an authority on the internet. So when your website is linked to them like that, and like the Witch site, they were like Witch Trusted Traders and stuff like that. When your website is linked to these other websites and there's backlinks from blogs and all that stuff, it really, really helps. So don't go into Academy Plus like, oh, I've seen it work really well for other people, so it's just going to work for me. It will, but it'll work a lot better. You've still got to do your stuff. You still got to do social media. You still got to do the online profiles. These help the Academy Plus effort massively. Yeah, massively. And when you look at people like Grant that are doing that many jobs in a year and all those leads now are coming through his website, it's only because he's prolific on social media. He's got online profiles and he's doing all the other stuff. Yeah. And when you put Academy Plus in there as well, it's like, do you get what I mean? But and I'm never going to turn around and say that one thing is the silver bullet. The academy and all the 12 steps need to be adhered to, or a lot of them, because most of them 12 steps are some form of marketing or business knowledge. Do you get what I mean? So you need to know the 12 steps and what they are. So that's one thing I wanted to share, obviously, since being at the event and sort of digging into things a bit more. Because what was interesting was I didn't know until a week, or not even that. It was a few days, to be honest, because then slides with the bits that are put in were literally put in like the week of the event, because we looked at the data. Because obviously I did recorded the interview with Grant probably a week before the event, and then he said this thing about he's not spending money on My Builder and Bark and all the rest of it, and I didn't really absorb it at the time. But then when I watched the interview back, I was like, fucking hell, that's quite a big deal, that. Because, yeah, when you're an Academy Plus member, your subscription goes up to 400 quid a month. But you're not paying for other forms of marketing that you were paying for before. Or if you're at a point where you've never paid for marketing, then trust me when I say, if you're getting websites, CRM, design service, all the things we give you, coaching, WhatsApp groups, SEO, blog writing, case study writing, fucking hell, all that for 400 quid a month. You know what I mean? You will learn the hard way out in the real world that you're never getting something like that amount of value for just 400 quid a month. So when you have been a business before, like Grant was running a business for a few years before he joined the academy. So when he came into the academy, it was at that point that he started to, realize that when you're spending £400, £500, £600 a month on leads, and then suddenly after years of doing it, you're not doing it, and you think, well, why am I not doing it? Well, the only reason why I'm not doing it is because the website is now generating the leads that these platforms were driving before. And that £400 a month that he's paying for the KBB subscription is less than the marketing alone that he was paying for before. It's like, hang on a minute. I still can't quite get my head around that. That is quite profound in terms of, Jesus, this is what's possible here. It's bigger than what I thought this, it really is. And it's quite scary, to be honest, what this can do when it's deployed properly and done properly. It's more devastating than I thought. I knew it would be effective. I knew that people would build businesses, no doubt. But I never seriously sat there and thought, you're going to be able to get rid of other marketing costs, and it's actually going to become a net negative spend when you look at your subscriptions and you're like, you fucking hell. It's almost like, it's ridiculous when you think about it. So, but if you want to get to those sort of results, then you've got to copy what other people do. So think about what I just said before I move on. Is make sure that you are doing your social media and your online profiles and supplementing the KBB Academy effort that we put in, and not just depending solely on it, because customers will still do their due diligence and still want to see that you're active in other areas. Just because you've got a great website is one thing, and yes, it will help bring people in, but if your social media is weak and you're not really visible in other areas and you're not doing the other stuff, it won't work as well. Do you get what I mean? And it's not that people will get to your website and think your website's shit. It's that they'll get to your website and think it's still good, but when they see website's good, this is good, that's good, and this confidence starts to build. But when you've got gaps in your effort, when you go, let's use an example, someone who's half doing it, they're doing some social media, but the website they're not putting any effort into. They don't turn up to surveys with branded clothing or a sign written van. They're not really sending the right signals out to the customer, are they? The customer's not blown away by that. But if a customer gets to your website, looks really good, might have seen you on social media, might have seen your van, might have had a leaflet, might have seen an A-frame outside someone's house. You've turned up to the survey, you're wearing your branded gear, you've sent them a Loom video with the quote on your professionally built website, on your proposal. So, fucking hell. That customer's really struggling to say no at this point. Do you get what I mean? They're thinking, shit, no matter what the price is, I want to use this business. And that's what we've got to get customers to do. We've got to get them frothing at the mouth. Oh, fuck, I really want you to do this job for me. That's the aim here. We've got to be getting them desperate to get the credit card out and go, right, how much is it? Because I fucking want this. But if you're just being half-assed with things and they're not going to be thinking much at all, then you're not going to get it, are you? So we can do as much fancy jiggery and pokery with the website and get traffic to it and get people there. But if you're lacking in other areas, it doesn't take away the responsibility, as always, that you have to have the responsibility of presenting yourself digitally and in person to customers, and the effort for Academy Plus, when it's coupled with people that take this bit seriously as well, it's fucking devastating. Really is really, really effective, like scarily effective. But for the people that are sort of half doing it and half, it's like everything, isn't it? If you're half doing it, you'll get half the result. if you do it properly, you'll get the full result. So that's that. I wanted to dwell on that a little bit quite early on because that is not something that I sort of covered at the event. I didn't talk about this supplementary bits like social media and the online profiles, and I thought I wanted to start with that tonight because it's important. And obviously that's again news to me because I'm digging around the data myself as well at the moment. You're getting ready for 2026, but so are we. There's a lot of stuff going on here at the moment. There's just a lot going on in terms of us getting ready for 2026, which in turn means we're getting you ready for 2026. We've got the Inner Circle meetings coming up, which I'm aiming for the next Facebook Live to know, or this in 2 weeks' time, to sort of announce who those people will be. And we're going to mix these streams up a little bit as well. I'm going to start bringing some different content in because we've got the clinic as well, remember? And I think the clinic for Academy members is more important than this because the clinic is proper business challenges. And this is good as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's lots of things to take and, look what we've covered so far tonight in the first 20 minutes. There's some gold in there for you to take away. But the clinics are really important. And I think even if you're not checking in, the clinics are critical because you're hearing other people's shit. And even if you're not having shit right now, you will have at some point. Or, there's learning in all this, and you've got to stay engaged with what's going on in the academy as a general, because, the closer you are to me and my team, the better you're going to do. It's as simple as that. If you think you can sort of be on the peripheral over here and achieve your dreams, you're not going to. You've got to come in close to us. You've got to be at the events. You've got to watch the streams, and you've got to stay engaged, and get to meet people in the academy. And, you're not going to sit on the edge of it on the sidelines and get where you want to get. Not if you really want to get somewhere special anyway. I mean, if you just want to earn a little bit more money and sort of be involved, but, and I get that. And it's quite an interesting point, actually, because I think at the event, I went in a bit hard on the day. Because remember, I'm not here to piss about. And you shouldn't be here to piss about either. We're here to build businesses. We're here to take things seriously. Yes, we want to have a laugh. Yes, we want to have fun, and we will. But business first and being serious first. And what was interesting was after the event, we've actually lost 2 people. Well, 1.5. One's head's fallen off and one has gone. And they were both at the event. And I'm laughing, not because it's funny, but I knew it was going to happen. I knew after that event, some people won't take today. They will shit their pants and they'll be worried that, because I did go hard, at the end of the day, I did say to people, if you walk out of this room today and when you watch these streams or when you do anything, if you tell yourself that you're not going to make it or you're not worthy, you're fucked. And that's how I ended the day. And that thought, I knew deep down, this thought, this comment I'm making won't live in everybody's head rent-free. This will get to some people. And to some degree, it is what it is. Because some people will be broken by words and, defeated by hot air. And if you're going to get defeated by hot air, you're better off bowing out and not putting yourself through the hassle and stress of more disappointment. And, I'm not saying that I prejudge people, but I have a good idea who's going to make it and who's not. Again, I don't, there's not loads of people that I think won't make it. I think everyone's definitely got it in them, but you can see that some people can't get out their own head. They can't get out their own way, or they won't give themselves permission to do it. So I always try to work on those things. And I do, even what I'm saying now is half designed to help you look inward and think, am I one of them people? Because in different stages of each year, we all are that person. We all do it. How many times do you think I've sat here thinking, fucking hell, why are you doing this? What? Do Do you get what I mean? We all do it. We all sit there and doubt things. But I think sometimes the you know, things give way, don't they? People talk themselves out of a good life and out of success. You know, they're just wired the wrong way. Some people, aren't they? And I can't rewire everybody. I'm coming to realise that, and it's a sad thing that I don't want to admit. But some people just can't be helped, and I want to help them. I think that, you know, me and my team. I know Lee really does, you know, take it hard when people who, you got to remember the level of personal and deep conversations that we get into with people, and then when they throw the towel in, it's like, come on, man. You don't want to throw the towel in. You don't want to, and you are doing. But, you know, how do you deal with that? I don't know. But, you know, and it's a tough one because we're in two camps here now, where there's really successful people. Because we've all, me and my team, Lee in particular, obviously Ariana, there's loads more people around us now that you don't know, and some you do. But the point being is that, you know, we've been here from the beginning. We've seen we've seen what people make it work and what people don't, and how we should treat those people. And when we're looking forward now, it's like there's two camps. There's the people that going forward definitely need my help, and that means, unfortunately, that we have to just accept that some of these people are going to fall away, and we don't want to. But it's not like we're choosing not to save them. By the way, don't take this as a weapon. Fuck off that. You know, and it's not like that. But they are making their own decision. But what we're realizing is that we never change their mind. They don't. Losers don't become winners. But it takes a while to work out if someone's a loser. I know that sounds really like derogatory, but I don't mean it in an offensive way. But some people are pre-programmed to lose and can't accept a win. You know, they're not worthy of it. They won't give themselves permission to win. They won't become a winner. And sometimes they do. Sometimes people can break that mold. I've seen it. But, you know, if they give way, what we've realised, that wiring is deep rooted. That wiring is deep rooted. It's not, a call with Aaron doesn't solve those things. A call with Aaron might push you on for another 2 or 3 months. But you always have to take responsibility for fixing the problems that are in there. And yeah, it's sad that we lose people after events, especially where we was expecting to be ready for 2026. But then I look at these two people and I think, you know, is what it is. But then I think, actually, there was 50 odd other people in the room that I have got a lot of confidence in, that I think next year are going to have the most positive year. I don't like fucking cheese terms like, oh, the best year ever and all that bollocks. We're going to have a better year next year than we did this year. That doesn't mean it'll be easy. It means better. We'll progress. And then at the end of next year, we'll have another event where we plan again for the year after. And it's my job to get everyone in the academy 10 to 20% better at everything than they were the year before. That's realistic. All right, there might be unicorns that have big leaps, but usually with big leaps, there's big drops because, you know, we've seen this at the event, didn't we? People that have gone up really quickly then start having problems and the morale fucking plummets because they're experiencing things that they haven't experienced before. And because it's all been positive. And then it's like, oh shit, I got a problem. Oh, I'm not used to this. The ego comes back. You know, the ego resurfaces and goes, oh, we're having problems. Maybe these guys are full shit. Do you get what I mean? And this is where we've got to keep this battle ongoing. Believe me, you know, this will go in levels and phases. It always does. And you've got to recognise that moving forward, is that this is levels and phases, and You'll have periods of growth. You'll have periods of stability. You'll have periods of fucking chaos and drama and shit. But the intention every year is to get the academy network and everyone in it progressing in the right direction and making sure that we don't fall victim to this mindset, which I'm going to cover now because I think, at the event we covered some really good stuff, and we talked about the 5 stages of the academy journey. And off the back of what I've just said, and especially, taking into account we've just lost a couple of people that were at the event, and by the way, weren't new academy members, those for a while. But something got to them that day, something rattled them, and yeah, I think we should spend a little bit of time revisiting some of the slides from the event. So if you were there, you've seen this, but let's not switch off because you've seen it before. Let's stay engaged with it, and let's have a look at it again. So here you've got the, let me just get this layout sorted 1 minute. That's a bit better. Right, so we've got the 5 stages here of, the academy journey or entrepreneurship, whatever, business, whatever you want to call it. So we've got stage 1, which is uninformed optimism. We've got stage 2, which is informed pessimism. We've got stage 3, which is the valley of despair. And we've got stage 4, which is informed optimism. And stage 5, which is success and fulfillment. So let's go through the steps, if I can. Hang on a minute. I need to just skip through these. Right, so stage 1, uninformed optimism. So we've all been here, haven't we? We all joined the academy at some point, and even myself, before having, obviously I didn't have the academy, but I had an idea when I started my original business, and at that point I had uninformed optimism. And like you did when you first joined the academy, you're excited because you don't really know what you're about to do. So you don't, it's like anything. How many times have you thought, it's like when we walked Snowdon in it, what those of you that were on the Snowdon trip and we went up that mountain, the uninformed, think of it like that in a mini day, uninformed optimism. You're in the car on the way going, oh, it's going to be really good, this. And then you get a bit up the hill and you're like, for fuck's sake, and then you're like, you get in closer to the top and you're like, oh, fuck me, do you understand what I mean? You go through phases, and then when you're on your way down and you've nearly finished it, you're like, oh yeah, this is really good. And they're the emotions, these are the emotions we go through. But in business, this is a really elongated process that can go on for weeks, months, possibly even years if you don't knuckle down. So stage 1, uninformed optimism. You're excited because you don't know what you're about to do. So whenever you see a new business model, sorry if a bit of that's blocked out. I'll move that to there. So whenever you see a new business model, i.e. the academy, you get excited and you want to start that business as soon as possible. At that moment, you're in uninformed optimism. You don't have any idea of the upcoming challenges. I think we'd all agree that that is a fair assessment of the first period of being in something like this. But then we get stage 2, which is informed pessimism. So that's where you realize it's not all perfect, sunshine and rainbows, and it's a little bit harder than what I thought. Yeah, because obviously I have the call, I get told how good it's going to be and what's possible, and it sounded great, and I'm in it now, and yeah, I can see other people are doing well, but there's a little bit more to this than what I thought. But it's only because it's new. Yeah, think about anything that's new. You always get that off. It feels like a lot of work when it's something you don't know. But as you start working on the business, the challenges creep into your life. Now you're informed that these are the difficulties you will face and have problems to solve. Thus, pessimism kicks in, and that's informed pessimism. So you are now in that phase of, right, fucking hell, I'm informed on what's shit about it. So I've had the uninformed optimism. Now I've got the informed pessimism. And then we start to think like this, don't we? We go, fucking hell, I came into this with a really nice, fucking hell, this is going to be great. And now it feels like, oh God, it's a little bit tough this now. And, should I go back to the comfort blanket of where I was? It was so much easier when I was getting fed work and I didn't have to chase and I didn't have to do this, I didn't have to do that. So that lazy bastard inside you that's ruined life up to this point because the ambition or whatever the reason is that we didn't chase our dreams earlier, that voice starts to get really loud at this point because now we're starting to go, maybe I was happy before. We know we weren't, but we start to kid ourselves, don't we? So then we enter the valley of despair, which is where we have a crisis of meaning and a crash and burn, because you'll only see the bad stuff. You've started to look at it and go, I can't see anything positive now. This is just all hard work and there's no reward, which is true at certain stages, but you've got to understand if you're feeling like that, then it's stage 3. Our brain is programmed to find excuses on the first sign of failure. As soon as you face problems, you'll start finding the meaning behind the goal. You'll find yourself asking, why did I even start this? Here you'll spend more time finding the meaning than finding the solution to the problem. As soon as you have a problem, I mean, some of you would have heard me say this before, and take this to the bank as well. Whenever you've got a problem, just say to yourself, if I had a magic wand, what would I do? As soon as you ask that question to yourself, if I had a magic wand, what would I do? Just fucking do it. Whatever that answer is, get on with it. Because if you dwell on it and you start pissing around, this is why, people that are built for success enter the valley of despair, but they find the solution to the problem, not dwelling on why they're actually doing it. Yes, all right, you shouldn't be doing things for stupid reasons, but let's face it, this isn't for a stupid reason, is it? We're building a fucking business and a future for ourselves, so whatever the issue is, it just needs to be fixed. So normally when people lose their head at this point, and after quitting at stage 3, they search for another business model, but a new business means that you start at stage 1, but they fail in that too. And we keep repeating the same patterns again and again and again. And this is where most people jump from that opportunity back to uninformed pessimism to a new thing that they think is going to be amazing, and around and around and around they go. Now, when do you think that most people leave the academy? Yep, you guessed it. So answer 1 is if they're lazy or ego-driven, they'll leave at stage 2. It says behind my head there. And if they're a self-sabotager, they'll leave at stage 3, i.e. they can't get out their own head and all the rest of it. Now, I know the people that left us, and then what we also said on the event was if you're not careful, you spend your life on the merry-go-round, you sit in the hamster wheel for quite a long time. Well, quite a long time until we die, basically. So it's about not giving up. At this point, it's about not giving up, because I don't guarantee. I know for a fact the people that left us last week, straight after the event, were both in the valley of despair. They were at stage 3. They hadn't pushed through to stage 4. But if you do get through to stage 4, you reach a stage called informed pessimism. So remember, we've been in uninformed optimism and informed pessimism. Now we're at informed optimism. So what does that mean? It's where you understand the upsides, because remember, the upsides were what you were experiencing, or you had the vision of in stage 1. That was the upsides that you were seeing. And then you started seeing the downsides when you realized that you had to put a bit of work in and make some sacrifices. But now you know how to control the downsides so that you only get the upsides, because this is where everything comes at a cost. Like we said at the event many times, if you want to go out and get pissed at weekend and ruin your health, then you're not going to be successful. If you're not willing to make sacrifices, you ain't going to get there. The real winner bounces back. So this is stage 4. They find a solution to their problems, remove the hurdles from the path, and most of the hurdles in the path are to do with your health, mindset, all the rest of it, all the stuff that's in the standards workbook that everyone got at the event and what's in the academy is there for people. That they are the hurdles in the path. If you want to know what the hurdles in the path are, go to the academy, go to, I think it's stage 1 or step 1, get control of your mindset and your time. You've got the standards workbook in there. You've got the presentation from last year's event, which we kept in there. So you can see the first event when I presented that workbook, and they are the hurdles in your path, because you need to create clarity and time to get things done. So these people then prepare themselves for more challenges, because once you've got the hurdles out of the way, you're ready to take more on. And this is where people get overloaded. I don't want to say overwhelmed, because overwhelmed is like a pussy statement. Overloaded is when you've got too much to do because you're not getting rid of the shit. If you want to do good things, you've got to get rid of the shit things. And anyone who says, oh, I just haven't got time, you're just not managing your time. You're just not prioritizing things properly. So when you've got rid of the hurdles, which are always to do with your mindset and routines, you've then got them out of your way and you've got room to take on more. At this stage, you've figured out what difficulties you'll face and how you will solve them. So as an academy member, how do we know when somebody has got to stage 4? It's not like, you don't get a certificate for this. It's something that behaviors start to show that weren't there before. And they are these things. And again, you can save this stream, you can come back to this, you can pause it, you can screenshot it, whatever you need to do. These are the things that if you're doing these things now, after a while of being in the academy, learning the tools and the tech, knowing the KBB Academy inside out, reaching out for help, following proven advice, not just your opinions, controlling your ego, unlearning old habits, prioritizing your health, practicing mindfulness, managing stress effectively or learning how to, developing yourself, not just your business, always looking ahead, seeing the bigger picture and accepting the ups and downs. Now, when I look at the people that we lost after the event, they're not doing these things. They're not. They're stuck in stage 3. They're in the valley of despair and they ain't doing these things. But this is what I'm saying to you about. Sometimes we can give someone a nudge that's in the valley of despair and try and get them to do these things. But if they don't switch on themselves and get to stage 4, they usually won't. Because you need to find this yourself. You've got to get to this yourself, because this has got to come from within you. But when we get to stage 5, we've got the achievement of the goal. And that is the stage, that is the 5 stages of this journey that you will experience. You will not be an exception to the rule. You will not go straight to step 4. You're not that good. You're not that special. Get over yourself. You will go through them all. And we all do. The academy itself has been through these stages. I've been through these stages with my businesses many, many, many times. And it's knowing how to control these stages that I've just give you the fucking roadmap on how to do that. So, but what is the goal? And we discuss this at the academy. So the academy was designed to make you think and act different, to influence you to do better for yourself. Because I want for you what I had and have, and you can have that if you believe in yourself and you think and act different. And that's what I'm always trying to do. Give you the rewards that you deserve. Because again, we're grafters, we work hard, we're providers, we do deserve this. And therefore, I want to facilitate you achieving it. Enable men to be men and provide, or women, whoever's the main breadwinner in the house. I believe that households should be able to survive on one income. And I think an academy business can support a family very easily without the need for both parents to work. And, and I know that not everyone's got kids, and this isn't everyone, and I'm being a bit traditionalist here, but this is why it was invented. I can't hide the fact that that's why I created this business model, because it was there to designed to do that for me at the time. And I know right now there are children and wives and men having a much better life because of this. And that makes me feel really good. And it was designed to connect consumers to decent guys. And then I used this, what's next for us, Aaron? So when we did the Snowdon walk, Ben Rowland from Apex said to me on the way down Snowdon when we did the walk, what's next for us, Aaron? So I was like, And I've actually done even more thinking on this since the event, which I'm going to come on to. But at stage 5, the achievement of the goal, remember, they're the reasons why the academy was designed to do those things. But stage 5 is about your goals, right? So what are they? Now, what you'll realize is that without knowing it, go back to your declarations. If you are an academy member, if you've been in for a year or two now and you're an academy plus and you're moving and all the rest of it, go back to your declaration and look at everything that you wanted to do 18 months ago. And I guarantee that it's now happening and you've probably not actually sat back and realized it. But sometimes you feel like it's worse and you're overwhelmed and maybe feel trapped, but it's just because you're developing as a person. This is just natural self-development that's just happening in real time. And it's stressful because your body and your brain are undergoing a stressful change. You have been acting and behaving a certain way for a fucking long time. And now things are different. They're better, but they don't feel better. It's like lottery winners, isn't it? They always say, like, I can't remember what the statistics are, but there's a ridiculous number of lottery winners that become skint again within a certain period of time. Go look it up. Why is that? Because we're programmed to go back to what we did before. We're programmed to the snapback effect. But you're resisting the snapback effect. Yeah, you are resisting going back to where you were because you don't want to go. And this is something we all have to battle, because there are days where I think, do you know what? I could sit in Wetherspoons all day today and just get fucking pissed and talk shit with someone because my head's up my ass and I can't be doing with all this anymore. But you have to fight these things. You can't just do it. You can't, well, fuck it, I'm going spoons then. Do you know what I mean? But some days you do feel like you want to snap back to what you were doing before. And that's why it feels worse sometimes. But this is just a growth. These are growing pains that you just have to go through. But the fact that you feel like that is normal and it will stabilize. But the answer is to get regular expert advice from us until you settle again, and double down. Don't get arrogant. Do your check-ins, come to the streams and the meetings, stay engaged, stay humble, and keep your ego in check. Because every time you go up a notch, you'll have a little bit of an ego boost, and your ego, you've got to get it under control to get moving, but it will come back to haunt you a number of times. You need to be careful. Okay, so then we spoke about, right, so what is new for next year? And we talked about academy plus inner circle. So inner circle next year, there's going to be a bit of a different spin on this, and I want to just spend let me just stop this share screen. There we go. So inner circle. So it got me thinking this, and I thought to myself, what actually are we going to do at these meetings? Now, I'm not saying like I've gone into it not giving this any thought, but for me, there needed to be like, what's the desired outcome here? What are these people actually trying to achieve? Because I know what you're trying to achieve in the academy, and it's the 10K a month in it. It's 2 jobs, 10K a month. That's what we're trying to achieve. And for people that are in inner circle or going to be invited to inner circle, that's one of the sort of prerequisites. That are you there? Have you achieved that academy dream? Even if it doesn't feel like a dream, you get what I mean. But what's the next step? And like what Ben asked me, what actually is next? Like what we actually going to do? So it's made me think about what this inner circle thing means and who should be invited. So I believe that what we need to do with this inner circle thing is, but when I did the piece of content a while ago now, I've never redone that piece of content because I think it's still good. But the one where we talk about 10K a month, fitting 2 kitchens, and I demonstrate how it's in the academy in stage 1, I think, or somewhere, I can't remember, but it's in there somewhere, search it. Now, that demonstration was about getting you to 10K a month. So inner circle people surely then are coming off the tools, or are already off the tools and just want to stay there, and they're just, they're in inner circle to make sure that they don't relapse or anything daft happens, or they don't start making stupid decisions. Have an experienced business person to guide you through things, which is essential. But getting the gist of inner circle right, I think we need to look at, right, the next model, what I need to probably model before these meetings start is, right, what does your business look like without you on the tools? Like financially, what's the numbers that need to be hit? And I think that's what realistically, that's what we will be focusing on in the inner circle meetings next year. I And we talked about the event as well, multiple revenue streams. So we mentioned that, an inner circle person who's looking to be invited, I'll be looking for people that are venturing into multiple revenue streams. They are an Academy Plus member. Because some people, I'm not here to argue with people about whether they want to join Academy Plus or not. I've always said this, it's 175 quid a month, and that is hardly covers the cost of delivering it. When you think about what we're doing for you, it's not a money burner it's not a money maker, for us in terms of the subscription. So, I'm not here to argue with people about that. It's not. But there's a certain mindset of person that does Academy Plus and people that argue against it. And I'm not interested in the people that argue against it. Not because I'm being petulant, or you're not coming in because you're not in Academy Plus. But if I have to justify something to you that clearly makes business sense and you're just not getting it, I'm not interested in that conversation. So I don't want people in the room in a circle that aren't Academy Plus, because I want everyone in that room to be as similar as possible. Yeah, I want people in that room to be all doing multiple revenue streams, i.e. thinking like a business person, not a tradesperson. They're an Academy Plus member. So then when we're having conversations around Academy Plus things, everyone gets it, everyone understands it. I don't want like 8 people in the room getting it and 5 going, what the fuck's that? And then we're having this conversation. No, people in that room have got to fucking get it. Preferably which trusted traders and people that are at stage 4 or 5 of the 5 stages that we've just been through. People still in the valley of despair need to get themselves out of it, because that's something that you need to do. So that's what we're looking for. Multiple revenue streams, Academy Plus members, which trusted traders, and stage 4 or 5 in their journey. Because you can get to that place without being in a circle. You can do that without my help, for the most part. You can get there, and you've got to get yourself there, And for most people, you might not ever need in a circle. This might not something that you need to do anyway. It depends on your levels of ambition. But for the people that want to get off the tools and be completely away from that world, if you like, in terms of fitting and literally managing a business, it's a different level that do need that extra little bit of coaching, and to be around people doing the same thing, so yeah, that's where we're going with it next year. And I think that you'd all agree that you don't want to be, it would be stupid to bring people into a circle too soon for their benefit as well, and I'm not trying to create a 2-tier academy. I'm not, because, there's people that are just starting. There's people that are still establishing themselves. Inner circle is for people that are established. But again, there will be people in inner circle that have only been academy members for a few months, because they've come in and they've done all those things. They've just literally fucking flew through it. So I'm not going to ignore quick movers. I'm not going to ignore quick movers. It's not like, it's only the old guard or the veterans that will be invited to inner circle. It's not true at all. I'll be looking for people that are truly ambitious and need my help. This isn't about creating a clique within the academy. I definitely don't want that. I don't want it to be, there's these inner circle members. I will not let that happen. But it's just the people that need more support and more help and more strategic one-to-one time with me, to really talk about things in detail and to share that experience with other people in the room. There's a lot of value in that. We can't do that here on these streams and in the academy itself. Do you get what I mean? So we need to approach this with kid gloves, because if we don't put something like this in place, my worry is that we end up with a few problems on our hands, i.e. businesses going bust because they've made silly decisions. So with these academy or inner circle meetings, for those of you that will be there, you need to treat them as like a board meeting. You need to treat them as like, this is your board, me, Lee, and, whoever's there from our lot, and the other inner circle members that are thinking on your level and get what you're trying to do. There will be a lot of advice passed around in the room on the day, and you need to sort of treat those quarterly meetings as, this is my board, these are my board of directors that are here to look after me, because getting to where you are, or where a successful spot is easier than maintaining it for the next 5 to 10 years. Believe me, the harder bit is yet to come. And you've got to grow into that role to make sure that that you're going to survive it, and you'll be fine. But don't think that once you're at stage 4 or 5 that you couldn't slip back into the valley of despair, because you could. And I've seen it. Just because you've been through the valley of despair and you've got to number 4 and 5, if that ego resurfaces and starts telling you to make stupid decisions because you've got a bit of cash and you think you know better now, and believe me, you could end up back at stage 1. You could end up back at stage 1, and I've seen it. I've been there myself as well. Don't forget, I've been there where I've made stupid decisions with businesses and lost a lot of fucking money. And statistically, I shouldn't be here in the business sense because I've done some stupid things. And it's always your ego. It's always your ego that makes you do these things. I've done some things in the past in business that I think, fucking hell, I'd never do it now in a million years. And the fact that I can sit here now and say that means that it was my ego. And there were stupid decisions moving back. Because you think when you've got money and you've had some success, you think you're untouchable. And you soon realise that you'll get your fucking ass handed to you on a plate very quickly if you're not careful. And it's very humbling when that happens. And I've experienced that on varying degrees a number of times. I've failed a business. I've been sat in the liquidator's office. Highly embarrassing, humiliating. That was by far the worst. But then I've had to fold businesses that I've put, 6 figures into because it didn't work and I should never have got involved. And it was just a fucking disaster. Not because, these things are not possible, but because sometimes you would just realize that this wasn't the right decision, and by the time that you realize something's not the right decision, you've normally spent a lot of money to realize it's not. And we don't want people doing that in the academy. Taking on staff on the wrong and if you want to know the sort of things that I'm sort of getting at here, it's signing daft leases on premises, taking on staff that are bad for you, putting up with shit, having litigation going on in your business. Again, people in academy, I've guided a fair few of academy members through very tricky situations like businesses breaking up, personal things as well, where they've had to handle things that you couldn't coach in the academy. This has had to be a one-to-one thing, and we've navigated some really tricky times with people, and you need people that have been there and done it around you, who can, one, give you good advice and settle your head down when things, whether they're good or bad. Someone that can level your head out is worth the weight in gold. And if you think that sitting on your own in a quiet room, overthinking about something is going to solve it, it isn't. It never does. It never did, and it never does. So, right. I can't think of anything else really to say to you tonight. I just wanted to use this tonight. Again, want to try and keep it. We're at an hour, so I don't want to keep you too long. I think we've covered some good stuff tonight. Remember that your payments, if you've upgraded to Academy Plus, so the new pages won't start till February now. New pages will start next week. Just to end on sales, I am going to try and get some sales templates out for you for the new year, but don't be afraid about putting your own offers out. I think we discussed at the event that if you put something like 40% off RRP on your social media, that is basically what you're giving the customer off. When you take our discount and add 30% on, it's roughly about 40% off what the customer gets anyway. So now is the time of year to start putting some offers out there for like January installation and stuff like that. But what you've got to be mindful of is that prices are going to go up. Obviously, our prices with the factory always go up on the 1st of Jan. So that means that we need, I had the date somewhere, 19th of December. So you need to place your orders this year before the 19th of December. And you might be sat here going, Okay, that's only 29th of October. That is going to come round the 7 weeks away, right? And you're going to be surveying jobs now that are, it takes 2 months to convert a job. So you're at that point now where this needs to be in every survey that you're doing moving forward as of now, and any quotes that you've got outstanding, what you need to be doing is going back to them customers now. So tonight, I would be emailing every single customer that I've got that's outstanding and saying, just so you know, I know it seems like a long way off, but the quote I've give you will expire on the 19th of December because the prices are going to increase. So if you don't place your deposit with me, you need that deposit early, remember. We need the order off you by the 19th because obviously we've only got a couple of days in before everything shuts to get that order processed. So you need to say to your customers probably I don't know, probably the 10th, to be honest, because you're going to want a bit of time to get the design session done and get things ordered. And, you've got your own process to think about. That's when we need it for. So you need to be using this lever now to go out to your customers and make sure that they understand that you've got to get these in before whatever date you want to give them. And that's the date we need it for if you want us to honour 2025 prices, because 2026 prices are going to be going up roughly 5%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's not really. But it's not something you want to be swallowing, is it? If you've got 3 or 4 quotes outstanding and they all go ahead in January, you've just lost fucking hell. You could have lost over $1,000. So it's not on each job. It's not significant, but for some of you, this could be significant if you fuck it up, because you will be out of pocket and you can't go back to the customer and go, oh, by the way, you need to pay me a bit more. It just makes you look like a right dick. So do yourself a favour, get on the blower to all your customers that are outstanding. Make sure they understand this, and make sure you understand it as well. Because again, it's a good sales tactic as well, this, because it works for you. I always used to use this at the end of every year with my customers. And again, it's not a trick. It's happening. The prices go up. Do you know what I mean? So you're not fucking lying, and we're not lying. It's just that it's happening. But it gets people to take action. It gets your customers to go, yeah, fuck it, come on, we'll get it sorted, because we don't want to pay an extra 500 quid. You can put arms and legs on that, can't you? We're saying it's 5%, but you could say it's 10%. You could say, look, it's going to be an extra 1,500 quid if you don't, whatever the number is. Do you know what I mean? Because you need to review your own pricing as well. And that's something not to lose sight of, is that you need to make sure that your own pricing is reviewed, consumable costs, labor costs. You need to make sure that it's not just our prices that you should be increasing. You should be increasing your labor costs a little bit as well. So from a customer's point of view, it's very beneficial if they get that order in this year. Okay. Right. So don't forget, use your WhatsApp groups if you've got anything. I've enjoyed tonight. I think we've just took it gentle, we took our time. We've revisited some of the bits from the event. Feel like we've hammered in a few more of them points. You can come back to this and watch it at any time, obviously. You definitely want to, in my opinion, look at that checklist again that we went through earlier, the green ticks. But if you've got any questions, drop in your WhatsApp group. I'll put a link below if you don't have a WhatsApp group, you're not an Academy member. But yeah, great event. Great clinic last week as well. I've noticed more check-ins are coming in as well, and you need to be doing your check-ins. You do. You really do. And I've had some really good ones coming again. They're starting to flow in a lot more now. So it's really positive that that people are doing that more. Again, not all of them get answered on the clinic, by the way. So some are done in private. Sometimes they're not suitable. But again, we're going to keep moving. Remember, we got your stream on Sunday at 8 o'clock. I can't remember who's coming up next this week. We'll post it in the group in a few days' time. But make sure you got 8 o'clock in your diary for Sunday night. You've got the clinic this time next Wednesday, 7. And then obviously I'll be back live again in a couple of weeks' time, where I will hopefully then be officially announcing Inner Circle dates and just what the crack is with that, and hopefully getting the stuff sent out to the people that are going to be coming. or hopefully coming. And just to circle back to Inner Circle, is that the Inner Circle will be done on a meeting by meeting basis. So it won't be a permanent membership. You will be invited to each meeting. And the reason why we're doing it that way is that you need to use these, well, I will make you use these meetings in a strategic way. So you might not need to come to all of them. They're every quarter. So if you missed one, it's not the end of the world. But the event is obviously on the Friday, and the Inner Circle meeting will be on the Monday. And remember, these are serious businesses. So having the Friday and the weekend to have an event with us and come to see us on the Monday and have a few good days of really focusing on the business is something that a serious business person would do. So that's why we're thinking that even if people say, oh, well, it's a long way to travel, really? What, every 3 months to put a few days into your business and really take a bit of time out of your business and spend it with the right people? I think you should be committing that time into your business like I would into mine, and take it serious. So if it's going to cost you a little bit of money to spend a weekend away, the people coming to Inner Circle can afford it. So I'm not listening to that shit. You're all there because you're doing well. So if you're saying that, you'll make it work, and it'll be a signal if you don't make it work that, maybe I shouldn't have invited you. I don't mean that, but you know what I mean. We want to see that you're going to take this seriously for your own benefit, and obviously, because the numbers will be slightly limited until we get it really moving, because you don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of years. It will be a meeting by meeting basis. So, i.e., some people might be on holiday, some people might not actually be able to make the meeting for whatever reason. So we don't want to have empty seats in the room. So we will sort of speak to people ahead of it and go, right, if you can't make it, obviously we'll look at who else might be able to come, and make sure that we're fair and get people in there at the right times. Because there might be sometimes someone that just say, look, they need to come to the next meeting. And you might just need one of those meetings to really cement a few things in. And then I might think you don't need to come for a bit, but there might be people that need to be there a lot. Do you get what I mean? But it'll be done strategically based on conversation and based on what's needed. I don't want to make it, like a membership where you need to be there, because I understand that there's going to be holidays and times where people can't get there, and I don't want empty seats in the room. But there will be a recognition within the academy that once you've been to one meeting, you're an Inner Circle, like you are badged as an Inner Circle, because you that's a symbol that you have achieved something within the academy. And obviously we've got the gold level membership coming up as well, which is on its way. Again, that's not a critical thing for now. It's coming, trust me. But we're working on that in the background. But right now, let's focus on the things that matter and the things that move you forward. Gold will just be a recognition thing. There's not really much to it. It'll just be that you are recognized as a gold standard member. That will carry a lot of weight in the future when we've got other things in place. Right now, Inner Circle and getting ready for 2026 and getting your head in the right place is what you should be focusing on, okay? And that is what we're going to continue to do between now and the new year. And then when we get into January, it's a new year and we're cracking on again. Yeah. But let's not waste the last 8 weeks of the year pissing around. Let's get things organized. Let's get things moving. Let's make sure that we are getting into 2026 with the best possible chance of success, okay? So take care of yourselves. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.